You want to start a business? In today's video, I am going to show you 5 simple, easy steps to starting your own successful business. That's right. Who am I? I am Gregg. I have started and sold multiple million-dollar companies, and I'm here to help you in any way that I can stop the grind and start living that life that you want. Please don't forget to subscribe. Subscribing really helps me, and it helps you know when new great content is released for you. So it's a win-win. If you subscribe, I would appreciate it. All right, so starting a business is the dream for most employed people. People would rather work for themselves than work for somebody else. And if you're watching this video, I assume you're one of them. And I tell you, working for yourself is fantastic. It's very enjoyable and it's very rewarding. So I personally highly recommend working for yourself. Most people do not start a business because they don't know how. And believe it or not, it's really pretty simple. The big trick is to not overcomplicate it. Just about anybody can start a business. And most people who don't succeed have overcomplicated it. Today, we are going to talk through the 5 steps to starting your business. Step number 1 is identify your product. Now, in my last video, I talk about how to find your product, whatever that is. Your product can be a service. It can be online or offline services that you offer. It could be a physical product that you sell. It could be an e-product that you have. The list is really very endless, and the possibilities are really, there's an infinite amount of possibilities on what your product or service or thing that you're selling could be. So really, lack of a product isn't a problem. There is a product or service or thing. We're going to call it a product in this video, but there is a product that you can sell that you can make great money on for your business. Now notice I didn't say step number 1 was incorporate and form a website and all that. No. Follow these steps and you're going to be much more successful. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about. So step 1 is identify your product. What is that product that you are going to offer? Step 2 is identify your customer. Who needs this product? Who can afford the product? Be very, very, very specific. Why did I use 3 verys? The number 1 thing that I hear people say is, everybody's my customer. Everybody can use this product. True as that may be, everybody could use your product. Your product really has a very niche person that is the primary target or primary user of your target. And when you identify that person very specifically, you can speak directly to that customer in all your ways of communicating and finding that customer. When you say it's everybody, it's just a big open field. You never find that customer, and also in being so broad, your customer never finds you. When you're very, very, very specific, you speak correctly, you identify where to go to find this customer, and even those people who are not your ideal customer or your targeted customer, they find you as well and hear what you're trying to sell. So this is critical. This is very, very critical. In my businesses, what we always do is we identify the ideal person. How old are they? Sometimes it's what gender they are. Sometimes it's what race they are. Sometimes it's how many children they may have. What do they drive? What is their income status? What is their marital status? We identify as many items and features of this person that we can possibly identify. Then we give this person, this fictitious person, a name. Why do we do this? Because we can always remember, sometimes in this case, we'll call it Susan. We can always remember Susan and what Susan's attributes are. So that when we're thinking through marketing, when we're thinking through targeting, when we're thinking about where to go to find Susan, by having a name of our person, we can quickly recall whether or not the things we're looking at are a good fit. So identify your exact, perfect, targeted customer as specifically as possible. This is critical. And I keep emphasizing it because it is so important that you don't say it's everybody, and it's so important that you don't say it's a broad range of people. I mean, let's just take a minivan, for example. Let's say a minivan is your product. Who are you selling a minivan to? Are you selling it to some 20-year-old male who just got his first job? No, that person is not the minivan customer. Who's the minivan customer? The minivan customer is going to be a mom. She's probably going to be about 25 to 35. She's going to probably have a dual income household. That household will probably be making $50,000 to $75,000 a year. She will probably have 2 kids who are elementary age. That is the ideal minivan customer. Why did we not go younger or with a lower income category? They can't afford my minivan. They just can't. Sometimes you'll find the outliers who will, but when you're speaking very specifically to that person, those outliers will hear your message and also come buy your minivan. So it's so important to be very, very specific. All right, step 3 is to properly price your product. Now you need to figure out how much your product is going to cost you in time, in physical costs. Then you need to figure out your markup. In most cases, your markup should be 2 or 3 times what your actual costs are. One thing that drives people out of business is they're trying to compete on price. You can't compete on price. It's just the way it is. Walmart is one of the very few corporations that can compete on price. Everybody else, when you try and compete on price, you're going to end up not making enough money to survive. And cash flow kills businesses, or the lack thereof. So you need to make sure you're charging adequately in that you know firmly what those costs and what those prices are. Because especially when you start to get desperate for a sale, you start to become very wishy-washy on your prices, and you start to offer people extreme discounts that don't make sense when you don't know your numbers. Be firm in your numbers, know your numbers, and be firm in your price. When you're firm in your price, your customer actually respects you a lot more, and they're willing to pay the price that you demand for your product. All right, step number 4. I mean, there's only 5 steps here, and we still haven't said form a company. Trust me, these steps work. Step number 4, sell one. Sell one product. So you now know what your product is. You now know who your ideal customer is. You know the price of your product. Now the idea is to go out and sell one. This is essentially proof of concept. Can you go sell one? Well, if you know who your customer is, you should be able to figure out where that customer is. If it's that soccer mom person driving the minivan, where is she? Well, she's at soccer games. She may be in mom's groups. She is definitely stopping by the elementary school. What does she do online? What does she do offline? Where can you find that targeted customer? Where is she? Or in your case, where is he? So get your first sale. When you go to get your first sale, ask clearly. Most people, when they try and get their first sale or who aren't good at sales, don't ask clearly. They kind of beat around the bush and they make suggestions on you should buy this product. Ask clearly. Hey, I've got the perfect minivan for sale. Would you like to buy it? I can't get much more clear than that. Hey, I've got this great new minivan. It's going to solve all of your transportation needs, and it's only $32,000. Would you like to buy it today? You can drive it home today. I mean, very simple, very clear. You want to be very clear when you make your ask. The next step of step 4, or the next part of step 4, is to follow up. Sometimes people aren't ready to make a purchase when you make your first ask. That's okay, you can follow up. Hey Susie, the other day we were talking about the minivan and you had some interest. Would you like to buy that minivan? Nothing wrong with a follow-up. Believe it or not, most sales happen in the second or third follow-up. They typically don't happen on the first ask. So don't be afraid to follow up. Actually, a lot of people do appreciate the follow-up, so make sure you follow up. Now, the last part of step 4 is get your second sale. Now that you've got one, go find your second sale. Your product may not be ready yet. That's okay. Go get your second sale. By doing this, you're going to give yourself that courage to keep the ball rolling because sales are going to be critically important to your business. All right, now step 5 is multi-part again. It's form your LLC, your incorporation status, whatever type of company that's going to be. Go ahead and form that company. There's online companies that will help you form your company. You can go ahead and do that. Then also build out an online presence. Now is where you would build out your social media or your website or any of those things online. And then also go open your bank accounts. Because now that we've made sales happen, we're going to need a place to put the money. And now, why did I say build your online presence and all these other things last? Because so often people will take these steps first and create busy work for themselves, but never get around to launching their product. It is so critically important that you get out there and launch that product and prove you can sell it before you do all this other work. And even when you get to step 5, it is so important that when you do form your online presence and your LLC and your bank account, that you continue to do sales and produce this product and not just get bogged down doing busy work. Busy work is a killer to your business. There are things that have to be done that are busy, but you can't spend all of your time tweaking that perfect website and crafting the perfect social media feeds and wasting all of your time doing this. Because if that's all you're doing, you will never sell another product. Hear that very clearly. If you waste all of your time on busy work, you will never sell another product. So get out of the habit of wasting your time with busy work. Get out of the habit of over-researching. Get out of the habit of over-busying yourself with things that are not moving you forward. You can tell yourself having the best website is moving you forward. You can tell yourself that all of your research is moving you forward. But truthfully, if you're not out there selling the product and producing the product, you are not moving forward. You've got nothing to sell, so your website is useless, your online presence is useless, your corporation is useless, and your bank accounts are all useless if you're not out there producing more sales and more product. Remove every obstacle you can. Like I said, all of this busy work is obstacles. Other obstacles are I can't statements. I can't do this. I can't do that. Remove the I can'ts and figure out how to make those I can'ts into I can't. Or how can I do this? Let me figure that out and do it. But don't let that be an obstacle. And don't let that be busy work either. Each win is going to show you new possibilities, give you new encouragement, and new gumption, if you will, to keep moving forward. So make sure you keep getting those constant wins. If you need any help with any of this, I would love to help you out. There are links down in the description where you can schedule time with me. I am really here to help you stop the grind and start your life.